I've been well trained.
No.
in
You
my
don't have to carry a sword to be powerful.
I won't fail you.
Or do not.
I'm not afraid.
There is no try.
We are back for round 3 of the Star Wars Destiny US National Championship here at the Nova Open. On the left, we have Charles playing eSnoke, eBazine, First Order Trooper. On the right, we have the Gen Con mill deck. I say the mill deck. Ruben will not let me say the mill deck. eYoda, Anakin, Cassian.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite decks out there because it's a mill. Let's go with that. This is going to be a good matchup. I played with this exact. I played against the eSnoke, the eBazine, and First Order Stormtrooper in the Store Championship. This is definitely a really good matchup. It could go either way, depending on, kind of the cards that are in Charles's deck. Definitely changed this game up quite a bit, but this is going to be a fun matchup.
Mm-hmm. This one may not be as fast as the last couple.
It will be.
It will be?
Yeah, it'll be. Mill is fast now. You don't have to, there's a lot of things you can do quicker than you have been in the past. I'm going to go with that. He might win the die roll. Charles, anyway. All right. Let's go grab
nice,
some shields.
Welcoming handshake.
Yeah.
Good luck to both players.
Putting up shields on Mr. Anakin there. Got to get that guy protected because he's going to take some damage here pretty quick. There you go. See, your opening hand's going to dictate exactly where you're going to put your shields at.
Oh, man. And Anakin's pod race are out on turn 1.
Yeah, that's a pretty good turn. That doesn't matter. He rolls a blank because Anakin can fix it. Double chance cubes down.
Anakin can fix anything.
Yeah, he can. Just, not everything. Ooh, he rolled a... He rolled out a blank?
Yeah, rolled out a blank on the pod racer. We got a couple chance cubes come in on the Charles' side of the board.
Chance key, what a great card.
It's
not bad, right? It gets the job done.
It gets the job done.
So right now he's gonna. Hopefully, I would like to say that Jeff has some zero drop mitigation in his hand, probably a pacifier, some hidden motive, because using up all your resources early is going to be kind of troublesome if you're trying to get that disruption. So he just turned it to the discard, so he's probably going to eat his hand or go after his deck. Depending on matchups, you'll decide to go which one or the other in this one.
Zine rolling in the 1 discard, and it looks like is it 2-for-1 shields?
Yeah, he's going to have to pacify that for sure, because he can't lose his cards. Getting a hand disruption against a mill deck is really is the way to beat mill. Primarily is to get those cards out of their hand.
I have to wonder if when Pacify was designed as a card, if they thought it was going to be used in the way it currently is being used, because mill decks love Pacify. Because who cares if we give the opponent shields, because you're not going after damage.
Right. I know that when it was spoiled, that's the first thing I thought is like, there you go. We don't care about the shields. It'll help either way. Either might give us some shields and get rid of the die, but it's just such a good card for 0, for sure. So now he's going to work on getting some resources so he can drop some vehicles down. Snoke has not used a power action yet, so he's going to probably try to get 3 resources. Yoda's not activated yet, but... So it looked like he went after his hand, so that's a good thing. I really enjoy seeing this is a good matchup. This is going to be a good game. I mean, that turn 1 Anakin, that force jump is going to definitely help, especially, later down in the game. You can just basically sit on that special for Yoda and just focus it to a special to get rid of a die and re-roll it in there. It's just so good. Looks like we got a focus, a discard, and a blank. The First Order hasn't activated yet, so might want to probably throw some. Oh, he just dropped down Planetary Bombardment. Ooh. That die right there is brutal, especially against mill. You're going to have to keep all your mill on all your mitigation to take care of that die.
Yeah, and then you're burning your mitigation each turn on that one die,
Yep.
leaving the rest of the board. So even if the damage doesn't get felt, the repercussions
Right now
for this game.
Yeah, based off of what's in his deck list, you can run a 1 of Flames of the Past to possibly, if you discard it, you can get rid of it, because that die right there is brutal. Yeah, that Planetary Bombardment is rough. Turn 1, man, ouch. Got some more money and a blank. It's hard to tell. Does Charles have any more cards left? I think he doesn't have any.
I do not believe Charles has any cards left in his hand.
So Yoda's got the special.
That blank is a blank.
Looks like he's probably gonna resolve the special, get himself
Get
a resource and a shield.
And a shield.
Yeah. He's preparing for the Planetary Bombardment on his characters. He's gonna mill a card. What did he mill? Looks like another support. Alright, they're going to go to second turn here. Got 4 resources for a mill deck is always good. Helps with your beguiles or any mind tricks if you run it. It looks like I saw a rend in his hand as well for Jeff, which is going to be good for those Chance Cube and Seth Holocron packages. Ooh,
Droid Tank is out.
Man, it's starting to hurt my feelings already seeing all this.
So in this matchup, how are you going to mitigate both these big powerhouse supports?
Well, as Charles would probably going to play this, he's going to do one die at a time and see what the mill players can do to react to it. But that's how you play it. As a mill player, you're just going to see what they roll and go from there. Because right now, he just rolled out his Yoda dice because he's going to try to control it with a force jump, either the Planetary Bombardment or the droid tank out there. So if this is showing, is that a discard or not discard, but
That's a
disrupt?
range.
It's a range.
Yep.
So it looks like he doesn't have any money, so that's why he didn't worry about that die. But right now, this is where a lot of the thinking comes into play, because right now he's showing eBazine with a discard and a disruption, so he's gonna get rid of 3 resources or 3 cards. So this is where this is a good matchup against it, because you're being controlled by the other player as well, like what decisions you're gonna make. So what he's gonna have to do, he's gonna have to try to shut that down and not worry about the damage right now, because that's gonna gut his hand or his resources to pay for things. So that's gonna be the challenge right now. Good time to have an entangle if you had one. Easy pickings doesn't help in this matter. Let's see what he's got. He does have the pacify, so he'd have to pacify that die. Can't get your hand gutted or your resources gutted. Flames of the Past. Yep, he did discard it. Like I was telling you, that if he had it in his discard pile, boom, he got rid of it. That makes your life a little bit easier. So that's a great ability to have right now. He didn't want to lose that card, so he had to play it. I was hoping to use it later. Or is that a shield? Maybe that's just a shield on there. Maybe that's why he's not worried about it. Okay. It looks like a shield.
eBazine?
Yeah.
eBazine, yeah, 2 shields for
Oh, it
one.
looks like a shield. Okay. Okay, so that makes a little bit different. So right now he's got Yoda with a special on it and the force. He can just do special to chain the force jump if need be. So he's just waiting for some damage to pop out right now. So he's not really terribly concerned with anything. He's just going to react to what's going on, what's being played. He's going to turn that to shields or discard. Yeah, so he's going to try to gut his hand. He just pinned down his die, I believe so. Get that vehicle die out of the play. Man, that's worse. Getting your dies removed as a mill player is the worst feeling in the world. Hey, that's what your job is supposed to do. Get rid of their dies. And the thing with Cassian is you can resolve a resource side and still get mill from it. You can discard anything. It's so good. So he's got the eBazine on the special now, so he's going to try to get 3 damage to either Yoda or Anakin. So, but I think he moved that. Yeah, he's going to have to pacify that discard side because he's don't want him to power action for that, even though he still has his action token there.
3 damage on Anakin.
We're going to have to take one for the team there, Annie.
Little Annie.
He's not worried about the damage side for the tank, so he's probably just going to focus that or resolve it to chain some things. Get himself a shield or a resource. Yeah. So getting that Flames of the Past play is really definitely helps out this matchup for sure. People, every time I play that card on someone, you know, especially in the earlier, they had to look at the card like, what does this card do? It's like, yeah, that card makes everything so much better. Oh, looks like you got another vehicle out. That helps so much. So he hasn't activated him yet, so he's just going to wait to chain the special to get rid of the damage side. Yep, there you go. He's going to chain his next action to get rid of it. He's going to re-roll it into play here after he gets his Yoda's goodies. Turn the special, boom, re-roll it, tell you to blank it. Oh, and you got another special just in case he wants to re-roll it in there. I mean, for 1, that's really good. I mean, it only costs 1 for that.
In motive.
You know, every time I re-roll the force jump, I either get a shield or a blank, so you're not really too worried about that. He just rendered his chance cube, which is, so good.
I mean, Jeff is strategically getting more and more cards off of Charles's board.
Just put Force Illusion down on Anakin, daring him to trigger it. He's going to have to remove that chance Q die before he starts up for the next time. So he had to pop the Force Illusion. So he had to get rid of some cards off the top of his deck, which as mill players we don't like to do, but it's either that or dead Anakin. So right now he's got 2 resources, starting with, now he's at 4, so he's going to try to hopefully get a second chance in his hand. That would definitely keep him alive longer. If not, he's going to have to enter the garbage chute and just try to maximize Anakin's ability.
Sure
Maybe
thing.
he'll just go ahead and throw out the pod racer to get it going.
He's still holding that hyperspace jump in case
Yeah. In case it
something
gets
happens,
too
but
crazy.
I don't see this. There's not going to be much of a big show of force early on in this turn.
He just dealt.
Of course, the ATDP
Yeah.
just
The
dropped.
ATST.
AT,
Is it AT?
AT,
Yeah.
AT something T.
AT.
DP,
Yeah, we'll go with that. The bigger guy.
the bigger one.
Um,
The bigger, the better one.
Yeah. I like seeing that card coming back because that card is pretty brutal, especially when it... Ooh, double blanks for the eBazine. Ooh, that's going to hurt. All right, so Anakin's going to roll, turn into a discard. He's going to keep putting pressure on that hand of his. Ooh, blanks. This is not looking good for Charles right now. Get rid of 2 cards. I want that one and that one. He's got 1 card left in his hand, right? I think. Yep.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, there we go. I was like, oh. Camera froze for a second. All right, here we go.
So, look at that board state right now. It's not really good for Charles. Right now, the pressure is going to be on Charles to make some damage. He's going to have to discard to get something happening. So that's going to actually help out Jeff in this. Should he roll it? Should I roll it? Maybe. Yes, I'm going to roll it, he says. All right. So he's got some power action abilities here to do. Anakin is near death with 1 shield, so he can only take 2 damage. But the power action ability is there, so this is a good time to entangle to get rid of those damage sides. Oh, did I just call that? Man, just get rid of those dice. Don't want to die today. Anakin's like, I want to live forever. And so that's good. So now he only has 5 dice to worry about, and I think he might have another entangle or some kind of mitigation in his hand. He does have the hyperspace, but he only has 2 resources showing. All right, so he's going to apply the pressure on his hand. you used it.
Saving
Yep.
that focus for when those vehicles come
I
out.
would entangle that. You can't lose your hand or your zero hidden motive or something.
He's
Unless you don't want to lose your hand. Flipped it to special. Put a chance cube. He's applying pressure. He's got 0 cards in his hand now, it looks like, for Charles. Jeff is doing really well with, he only has 2 damage on Cassian. You know, Anakin living a couple turns after the pod racer's out is pretty ideal. I mean, he kept him alive an extra turn, so he's in a good spot right now. Yoda's got his special out with force jump, so he's just waiting for more damage to pop up. So he can basically shut down, you know, any damage unless the, of course, if you don't have any blank sides, it's going to make it worse. So he got rid of Beguile. Oh, man, that card in that discard pile is not where it needs to be. It needs to be in Jeff's hand. Are
you rooting for Jeff in this?
I'm just saying that, you know, if you have to lose 3 cards because of 1 die, because of power action, you have to make that decision. I'd rather lose 1 card than 3, you know? So that's kind of a call. So now he's only got 1 card to deal with, and he's going to entangle to get rid of those 2 dice. So now he's just got his force jump to take care of, but he doesn't have a blank. You can't, there's no blank, dude. Sorry, Jeff. You can't do it. That's why I was saying keeping that card for stuff that, you know, you can't get rid of a die.
Yeah.
So you better get a shield. Anakin may die here. Depends on how much damage is there. So get a resource. Turn that to a discard. Resource. Okay, that's good. So he doesn't have any cards in his hand. Yep, Anakin lived just long enough to get rid of a few cards out of his hand, so at least he got 2 or 3 extra cards. Okay.
Jeff's mitigation game is on point here because he still is sitting on very little damage when it comes to his 2 remaining characters. It looks like a total of 17 health left on the board.
Yeah, and he also he used that Force Illusion. He still got the second chances. Haven't seen any of those quite yet. Mm-hmm. He's got 5 resources.
Hyperspace jump.
Yeah, no, he did get a discard unless he runs 2 of them in there.
Okay.
So eBazine has got some discard and is that a discard and resource? So he's counting his deck too, see what he's got in there. Probably got a third of his deck out already.
Yeah, Charles playing it smart, of course, against the mill deck with these blankless supports.
Mm-hmm.
Force jump does not.
Right. That is definitely meta calls for sure, because you know, supports without blanks is better than blanks, of course. So he's going to go ahead and activate Yoda with his special. He's got a discard and a shield, so he can just chain it. OMG. See, that's just rude, Charles. I mean, you can't make friends that way, Charles. Double of those? I mean, let's just... I mean, seriously?
If you're gonna bring it, just bring it.
I mean, he brought it. I mean,
I feel like I have to root for Charles now, just because.
He just brought the whole army with him. But, wow. Okay, so now he's going to have to worry about those dice. He's going to just do 1 at a time. He can just put pressure on the mill player by just having him just have to deal with the die.
Mm-hmm. Charles still in a position where he really can't re-roll. Discarding re-roll is not has favorable for him.
Very little cards left in his deck. So I would definitely say that right now he's got 5 resources, Jeff, to work with, to deal with what's going to happen, but he has to save this for those big guns over there, I guess. And he also, he could also run mitigation too for Charles. He could just start, anti-control Jeff as well. And not only that, but he hasn't had a, this is round or turn 3, so he hasn't had a chance to drop a force meditation yet either to speed up his process. So he's kind of dealing with what he has at the moment. So, jeez, just drop down vehicles. Just go for it. Do your thing, Charles. You're doing your thing, Charles.
And he did.
He is.
He has,
I mean, this is not
slave
good
one action.
for Jeff because, like I said, he's just gonna single action these dice until, you know, he can. I mean, that's put pressure on the mill player. You know, Jeff right now is thinking, man, this is rough. Yeah, getting that turn 1 pod racer out is great, but if you don't got anything to keep manipulating the discard or your main deck to get rid of those cards, man, it's just hard. Wonder what they're looking at their battlefield here.
Yeah, so the challenge, and this happened at the UK Nationals as well, playing a vehicle for 1 cheaper with the battlefield is the first vehicle you play in the turn.
Right.
And he's already played a vehicle this turn. So I think
he's trying to get a rebate?
and yep, so we're gonna reset to prior, and that slave 1 did not.
Yeah, that's the thing is just, you know, the cards, you know, this is the first vehicle of the turn or the first that. It's got something you have to call out.
Same thing happened in UK Nats where trying to use the battlefield ability, which is play the first vehicle down.
All right, so he's going to try to discard his card out of his hand. And mill 1 from the top. So it looks like, you know, Charles is running a little bit low on those cards over there. So if he can work getting those cards out of his hand, and it just doesn't matter what he has on the board, if he can hyperspace jump, game over. But he still needs to get those cards out. Looks like a 4 for 1, I believe. 3 for 1, 4 for 1. He doesn't have any resources currently, so not that I can see anyway. Oh, well, maybe I think that's a resource down there.
Yeah.
Get himself. Five resources and nothing to do with it at the moment. Real world problems, I'll tell you.
First world Destiny problems.
All right, so now Yoda's taking a punch to the mouth. It's like, okay, all right, I feel you.
You have to like bend over to punch Yoda in the mouth.
Well, yeah, you know,
unless he's
like
on a log.
I find it funny when people call him a Muppet. Why do they call him a Muppet?
Because he was a Muppet.
Okay. I don't want you to call Yoda a Muppet. Leave him alone. He's good. It's so funny when he has like a double force jumps on him. He's just bouncing all over the place. All right, so he dropped, got rid of, he just played, into the garbage chute. Got rid of some damage. Man, into the garbage chute on Cassian just hurts. Roll the blank. So he's got 1 resource left, so unless he's running overconfidence or, you know, easy pickings. So right now he's just going to start working on getting some more money. Bring out some more vehicles, take him out.
Yeah, but it appears that Charles has no hand at the current time.
Yeah, but for next turn.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, get some money.
He's going to draw some more cards to help
If he's
him
got
out.
any more to draw, he's got. It's hard to tell from this angle, but
Probably like 8, if not less than 8. Looks like he's got a hand. Got a couple cards. 1 card. 1, 2.
oh, there is a hand.
Yeah.
He was, and okay, so now he's gonna properly pay for the slave 1. Hopefully Charles can regain his momentum. He looked like he took a little bit of an emotional hit there from the misplay on the slave 1 earlier.
Yeah. But I would get over it quick if I dropped it again. I'm like, okay, I'm over
Okay,
it.
it's back.
I'm past it.
Oh,
Yoda's down.
Yoda is down, so lots of range damage hit the table.
Yeah, this is definitely looks like Snoke is gonna.
I don't know. I
possibly
mean,
pull this
Cassian's
off.
got himself a little second chance over there.
Yeah, but look at what he's got. He's only got no upgrades. He's got 1 die and Pod Racer. He does have a second chance in his hand. He's gonna try to grab a.
And that's the end of the deck for Charles.
he's
It
got
looks like Charles has 4 cards in hand.
4 in hand.
So the question is, can all 4 cards be discarded this turn? And can Cassian survive? Because Cassian's got 7 plus 5.
I think Jeff is on borrowed time, unfortunately, because I think right now he only has one side. He's got 2 discard sides on Cassian, get rid of a die. He can get it on the pod racer, but there's nothing to get rid of from his deck, so he's going to have to focus it or re-roll to get the side on the discard. So Cassian. So what I would do now if I was the other player is, you know, like I said, just like Charles, just one die at a time. Put pressure on him.
Can you draw a hyperspace jump? No.
That's the card right there. That would have helped him out.
That's an operation.
If he, yeah, for sure, if he would have had it at the time. But now it's just, like I said, he's on borrowed time.
Oh. Sounds like Charles is messing with
He just
it too, right?
he just got powered action to get rid of 3 cards.
Oh.
So yeah. So he's at his mercy. I mean, also getting the turn 1 pod racer definitely helps, but at the same time, it's all about how it finishes. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties with the video, but right now it looks like it's going to be pretty much just a matter of time before it looks like Charles may overtake Jeff in this matchup. But with that second chance helps for a short period of time, but just with 1 die out in the field and already using his pod racers, already gone, and he has 1 card in his hand, this is not looking good for Jeff right now. Started off really strong though, so, but in Mill it's all about how you finish it. And right now, it's kind of rough on Jeff. Such a good matchup, though. Definitely with getting all those vehicles out and the support out was definitely, ooh, especially back to back. And he's 3-4 supports out plus, you know, just Snoke going to town with his power action is definitely going to be, you know, the deciding factor in how this game went. Snoke is such a powerful character. I think he's just such a great character for villain, and I just know that Yoda is the counterpart and for hero, but I just think they're both very well suited for this meta, and I just really hope to see more of these decks with different character combinations to make everything even more competitive. So yeah, well, as we're getting this all set up, where, you know, the game should be possibly quite almost over, if not over already. Yeah, it looks like the game is over. We just got the feedback. Charles did take out Jeff with the mill deck. It was a great game. It was really close at the end. He had 3-4 cards left. But just getting his hand good at the very end there was probably the last, you know, hammer in the coffin there, I guess you would say.
Yeah, it was a little tense there because early on it did seem like Jeff was taking the upper hand or controlling Charles's board state with this particular deck. But he came back to place a couple more vehicles on the table. And get rid of Anakin early enough, and Jeff made a couple of calls in there that may be not in his favor to allow Charles to edge out and damage him, beat him in the face to death.
Yeah, well, that's just how it goes. Sometimes, you know, one play, you know, can affect the whole game.
We will be back shortly for round 4 of the U.S. National Championships here at the Nova Open. Hopefully we won't have the same issue happen again. But we do appreciate everyone who is watching, and we will be back for round 4 shortly.